What about you using the word schizo? You're not schizophrenic, are you? Yeah, for me it's kind of the same thing. I don't know. I feel like I feel like in a semantic and social sense, there's such a clear distinction between like the systemic problems that afflict differently abled people and using these terms to attack Nazis. That you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's different in a lot of ways from like if you like if like you can imagine if somebody in the opposition is acting like girly or whatever, you like make fun of them for being girly in like a sincere haha you're acting like a girl kind of way, as opposed to what a lot of people on the left do, which is this, oh look at you acting like a girl, huh? See, look, even you can't help it. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of nuance to the like exact dynamics of using the wrong insults against somebody in a right way. And with this schizo thing, like I don't know, like are schizophrenic people really harmed by that? Like in a meaning, like are schizophrenic people in my audience, for example, like if I say that like foreign man to foreign land video is like schizo shit because it is, like are they harmed by that? May I just don't think so. Maybe they're offended by it, which I don't want them to be because I sincerely don't mean anything against them. It's just like a punchy word to describe in an evocative way. Um, the video, yeah, it's. I don't know. Yeah, the problem is that there are also optical losses to fussing over the language too. You know, maybe you should start saying delusional instead. I do say delusional, but delusional and schizo don't have the same evocative meaning. It's not just that they have more oomph; it's that they mean different things. Like schizo implies a degree of frenetic energy. I'm really just stun locking right now because I'm hoping my cough gets better. God, literally, Zan. True, Vermin, though, I'd be willing to bet most people don't even know what the term schizoaffective means, right? A lot of people just think schizophrenia, but I guess there's a lot of stuff under that umbrella. Yeah, Vaush, don't label people that are deplorable and atrocious in every way as schizo. It signifies being a schizo. No, no, no. I I don't say people are schizo because they're being bad. I say they're schizo because they're being schizo. It's not a synonym for bad. It's used in a different way. It's it's that they're being there's this frenetic energy that they're jumping between shit. It's incoherent. Like that's the insult. That's the statement being made. It's not that they're bad. Like a person can be acting schizo and be like a generally good person. Or like yeah, like schizo posting. Like people say schizo posting pretty often. That's what psycho is for? No, psycho doesn't mean that. Psycho means other stuff. When you say somebody's acting psycho, it's usually that they're acting like gleefully malicious or like or like with no regard for other people. It's not the same as saying somebody's acting schizo, right? Like schizo posting means something different. Nobody would say like psycho posting, but psycho is similarly ableist. No, they're all ableist. There will always be ableist terms. It is valid to attack people for not being able to do things, depending on what those things are. We need people in society to do things like ethics and like mutual respect, social contract stuff. If people can't do like this is socially relevant. Race and gender, these are like ephemeral social constructs that won't always be like why attack people on that? It's dumb. Ability though, that's a whole other thing. Is Anna a schizo? No one's a schizo. It's not a real term. If somebody's being schizo, it's just a off the cuff way of saying that they're being energetically incoherent and can't keep. It's like ADHD psycho. Like you're this is exactly what I mean. You guys are thinking about it too much. This is what alienates people, and I mean this unironically. For every person that gets alienated by me saying retard, there are 3 people who get alienated by like this ultra hyper self-considered discourse on the exact nature and meaning of 87,000 kind of related but not exactly synonymous terms, which may or may not refer to people's ability. Like, I'm not saying there's not a discourse to be had. It's just like, man, people outside of the left do not talk about this. Okay, I think my cough is starting to calm down. I just don't think you should be mean to people who have like actual disabilities, you know? But then again, like, if there's a person in a position of power, like, okay, here's something that might make you question stuff. What about dementia, Alzheimer's, or senility? If there's a politician who's like this horrible, monstrous piece of shit, and a lot of their monstrous behavior is funneled through this like 87-year-old brain or whatever, do you think it would be ableist to say like, oh, you demented old fart or whatever? Because it literally is. Not only is it ableist, you're actually attacking them over an actual mental disability. But now it feels permissible, right? Because it's like, oh, well, what? Why is that permissible? Because I've never seen anyone complain about that being done before. I've never seen any like ableism warrior take issue with people calling Biden, as if he has dementia, which he probably does. No, because they're actually causing harm and probably aren't fit for office on that basis. Okay, so what if a person is causing harm and isn't fit for office on the basis of them being retarded? And I mean that. Like, genuinely low IQ can't understand things that well. Well, hold on now, folks. If we can insult people for having dementia, if that's impeding their ability to run for office, well, hold on now. If this is valid when attacking a figure in public office, we as citizens and as humans have an obligation to our communities. Wouldn't you argue then that it would be valid to attack people for disabilities if it prevents them from contributing appropriately to their community? Oh, well, hold on now, hold on. Well, that doesn't seem fair. Just a regular person? They haven't gone above and beyond. They haven't demonstrated a greater degree of civic responsibility the way a politician has. It gets a little blurry. What about content creators? I would say that many people have been harmed from profound mental retardation on the part of content creators. So, I don't know. They've accepted a greater degree of social responsibility by making themselves public figures. I don't know. Okay. Just saying. Does Biden actually have dementia? Probably. Now, Vaush, your tism is showing, not gonna lie. Really? Is that true? Stubbed toe. But after a thorough investigation of your chat logs, I've come to the conclusion that you are probably 14 years old. So who's autistic now? Me, someone who's gotten laid plenty of times, or you, someone who could only dream of it and won't for years? Think about it. Could have right-clicked. Could have right-clicked. Could have right-clicked. Could have right-clicked. Zoomer is now an ableist emote. True. This cough really bugs me, man. If using retard as a slur is bad because it stigmatizes the mentally deficient, wouldn't using something like smart as a compliment also be bad because it normalizes the same dynamic? Son of a bitch, Nicky Bugs. You're completely correct. If impugning somebody for being black is wrong in the same way as praising somebody for being white because it reinforces the same preferential dynamic, then yeah, condemning somebody for being unintelligent and praising somebody for being intelligent literally do the same thing. Which further highlights the impossibility of fully excising ableist language from your speech. Wow, that actually does it. I think that's the strongest argument you can come up with, yeah. Particularly gifted. If saying someone is stupid is a word that implies essentialism, surely gifted is. I actually think the term gifted is like one of the worst things you can say to a kid. Because A, a gift is something you receive, not something you work for. And B, gifted is like this like cheap corpo politically correct synonym for intelligent in a way that feels kind of condescending when you're actually being told you're gifted. 3, it implies some kind of creator bullshit, like gifted by who? What the mean? And 4, like it paints over the complexities of intelligence in a lot of ways. Like gifted, what does that mean? It's more complicated than that. I remember I was part of that gifted and talented education, that GATE shit, when I was young. Because they rope all the smart kids into that, Parents pay a little extra money to go on those trips or whatever. That's all bullshit. They tell a bunch of kids they're smart. They bring you out to a summer retreat for a week. And they're like, all right, smart kids, we're going to do cool things like building structurally sound towers with blocks. Oh, you mean that stuff like 4-year-olds do? Yeah, but like We're going to do it smartly. We're going to use smart words like center of balance. All right? Good luck. Good luck, kids. You know, the funny thing is, I've been smug about this my whole life, okay? The funny thing is that I think at one point I actually, like, outsmarted one of the counselors, and they hated me for it. Okay, they didn't hate me for it, but it was, like, really awkward, okay? So, the weird thing is that I outsmarted them by answering their question, okay? So, we had this, like, big fake cannon that would shoot, like, a cannonball about this big made of foam. It was like an air pressure thing. It was like a toy, and the thing was like, we were like, it's like the physics of like shooting a cannonball at some castle walls, but they're made of like foam blocks. You get it, right? And anyway, we were talking about like, okay, so if you were gonna do this, like, how would you do it? So you have like, you know, you have like on over here, you have like the foam, you know, it's like, you know, like this shit. You've got like the foam, whatever. And then there's like a cannon over here. Boom. There's a little fake fuse, but there was no fuse. It's always penises with you. What looks like a penis here? Shut up. Anyway, and the counselor asked, like, okay, if you were going to fire at a wall from a distance, would it be better to hit it straight on? Or would it be better to, like, aim the cannon up and arc your shot at it? And I said this probably, like, in a stupid way because I was a kid, but I basically said, like, it's definitely better to fire at it straight on, because then you're only factoring in two possible, not directions, what is it? Like planes of movement, like X and Y. Whereas if you add the arc to the trajectory, you now have to worry about the appropriate depth. Yeah, axes, thank you. You have to worry about the appropriate depth you want to strike. And everyone knows that's true, right? It's way easier to hit a target with like a gun than a mortar. But the correct answer was to arc the shot because it was at a distance. But because we were only 30 feet away from the foam wall, my answer was correct in the context of our situation, and the counselor just stared at me. He gave me the, when the autistic person says something so autistic, you give them the neurotypical stare. And it was really weird because we were only 30 feet away. So why would we arc the shot when it's right there? Like, if it was like 500 feet away, then of course you have to, because at that point the gravity would pull the... Yeah, but like, my answer was correct, okay? That in the example, he did not specify like a different scenario with a farther away wall. Okay. This is like 20 years ago. Yeah, that guy. I can see you thought about this moment a lot. Thank you.